Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Today's date is Sunday, November 5th, 2023. Earlier today, a newsworthy item came to my attention. Earlier today on Sunday, the president of Ukraine issued an invitation to our 45th president, Donald J. Trump, to come to the Ukraine. And the reason for the invitation seems to be multifaceted. He being Mr. Zelensky, is aware that our 45th president has said that within 24 hours of being reelected, he could see that conflict come to an end, and he would see that conflict come to an end. He's been very confident about that for quite some time. Mr. Zelensky is struggling to retain financial support coming from the United States. That's kind of behind the invitation. The other thing is that Mr. Zelensky has declared that he only needs 24 minutes to show Mr. Trump, if he's in person, the conflict, the complicated dynamics behind it, and make his case that the United States should support this conflict for at least another year. Okay. I'm trying to keep as little Laura's view as possible in that little bit I just said, but I'm curious about it. I'd like to ask the universe to weigh in on this. I'm going to first go to a share screen to kind of confirm for you what I'm saying. And it's an article that's available to you online, so I didn't do a compilation. 1 second. Okay, if you go to thehill.com, you can see that at 9 a.m. today, just 9 hours ago, Zelensky invites Trump to the Ukraine. He can't manage this war. Okay, and then it goes on to explain why, that he needs only 24 minutes. And since March, President Trump has been saying he could solve the war in 1 day if he were reelected, noting that the negotiation process would be very easy. Now, part of that may be that he has a good working relationship with Mr. Putin. I don't pretend to know on things like that, but let's ask the universe for insights and information about this invitation to the Ukraine that's been issued by President Zelensky to our 45th president, Donald Trump, and to see if there's some insights to be had. I'm especially curious if the universe is going to weigh in on whether that visit will actually occur. And want to be very specific that my questions are, number 1, for this particular timeline we're on right now, and number 2, for information that will be available to us if without any obscuring or veiling of the information. So I'm going to trust the universe to do the discretionary part of things, but any human attempts to veil or obscure the information, I want that to be bypassed, or the information to be reported as it would have been before those attempts have been put in play. So let's switch the camera and you can watch me deal the cards, and we'll see what the universe wants us to know about this invitation from President Zelensky to President Trump. Okay, insights and information about this invitation. What does the universe want us to know that can be shared at this time? Okay, our first card is the 9 of Pentacles, Hierophant, Temperance, Ace of Cups, the Fool, Queen of Cups, and King of Cups. Okay, let's take a look at the cards and see what they want us to know. Again, we were asking for this timeline and allowing the universe to do the discretionary part of the information if that applied in this situation. What's interesting is that out of 7 cards, we do have 3 major arcana showing up: the Fool, the Hierophant, and Temperance, for both the recent past, present, and near future. The situation is indicated by the 9 of Pentacles. And that's kind of interesting because that's a success card. Okay, that means that a well-developed plan is being seen through. The Hierophant tells us a little more about the situation. With the Hierophant, it talks about change and expansion, but balanced with tradition and often conformity. So, and it's kind of interesting that this is supposed to be a wise man or kind of a religious figure, and Mr. Zelensky has done so much to silence that element in his country. So that's kind of interesting. But what's happening is this invitation is a calculated strategy. It is designed on Mr. Zelensky's part to try to secure some backing he doesn't yet have, because he can see that there's change in the wind, and his previous cozying up to 46, that's kind of done. So he is modifying his approach. Okay. Now, here's what happens. If Mr. T does get involved with this, if he takes him up on this, he's going to be doing it. Here's a dove. This is the bird of peace. He's going to be very successful, as he said he would. And he's going to bring peace, not war. He's going to fund peace, not war. Let's look ahead at the near future. The near future for this situation, and that future would include what's going to happen in the Ukraine, is setting off on a new path, possibly a leadership change when this is all done. Absolutely. We've got Queen and King of Cups on both sides of this. The Fool is stepping out in faith. It's a new path, but it's kind of clear before him. And with the Queen of Cups and King of Cups on either side, these are our emotional intelligence cards. Okay. Now, the King of Cups is a master poker player because he's got the ultimate poker face. And the Queen of Cups is very intuitive, and she's in touch with her emotions. So both of them have a lot of emotional depth to them and some control. So even though Mr. Zelensky feels like he threw down a gauntlet, and with a hope of getting some support from both the media, renewed support from the media, and possibly from our 45th president, it's going to just simply be that what ends up happening with the involvement of Mr. T will be that brokering of peace and setting out into rebuilding and a new path for Ukraine, possibly with some new leadership. Let's get a couple more cards and see what they want us to know about this invitation and some of the motives and what's going on behind it. Okay, the Chariot showing up, a 4th major arcana, in conjunction with the 8 of Cups. Now, with the 8 of Cups, there's often talks about kind of a turning aside to find something that's missing, knowing that there's something not quite complete, moving away. Now, the Chariot often shows up when there's a move in process, when there's going to be some big changes. And the Chariot is often considered to be the younger version of the Emperor. And the Emperor is often our Mr. T card. So yeah, Mr. T is going to be able to keep his, if he gets involved, it will be to broker peace. It won't be to start supporting the conflict or funding the conflict. And it looks like things are going to be changing for Ukraine and their leadership. Okay, hopefully that means new leadership and a chance to rebuild and have foundations of peace and sovereignty for those people that are there. I'm going to get a couple more cards here. Last 2. Okay. 2 of Cups, which talks about having an agreement that's in balance, has some heavenly oversight, and moving on. So again, the new path clear before them. Yeah. So Mr. T, if he's given half a chance, he could and would and will help to broker peace there. No matter what Mr. Zelensky is doing in his motives, which may not be quite on the up and up, it's not going to be any involvement he gets from Team Trump is going to be towards peace, not as far as backing the conflict and the continuation of that conflict. And ultimately, Ukraine's going to be heading out into some territory they dearly, dearly want, some safety and sovereignty for their people, and an end to shenanigan labs and things like that within those confines of that country. So there we have it. That's what the cards have to say. So let's recap. Earlier today, the president of the Ukraine, Zelensky, issued an invitation to our 45th president, President Trump, to come to the Ukraine and view firsthand the situation. And his stated intent for that was to prove to him that the support from the US was needed, necessary, and the conflict was not one that Mr. Trump yet understood. So we asked for insights and information. Now, I did not pose a yes or no question to the universe in this video. I simply asked for insights and information about this invitation and let the universe decide what to share with us. Now, we got a number of major arcanas, so it's a good question. The card indicating the situation is the Nine of Pentacles, which is a card quite often of some independence and success, but Pentacles are definitely money, and Mr. Z is always after money. So I thought that was a little bit humorous. Okay, he's wanting to shore up his position, and he's trying to find support now from avenues and places that he didn't previously consider. His expectations have been modified recently because he is losing the easy flow of cash that's been coming into his country, and the financial support that he has become so accustomed to. How much was that? His wife's shopping spree when she in the US? Over $1 million? Yeah. Okay. Now, I don't want you to think this was a hard yes, because there was no yes or no question in this read. But what this card tells me, that if Mr. T does end up involving himself just like he has said, and this card showed up in the current situation, he would be able to successfully broker peace. You got the dove here with the Ace of Cups. So he absolutely can keep his word if he's given the chance. And moving ahead, this entire situation is going to go to a new place, a better place. Yeah, I look for the Ukraine to have some major changes in their infrastructure and their governance, and the Fool's kind of indicating that, and that the forces in play around them, we have both the King and Queen of Cups, very, very emotionally savvy poker players extraordinaire. So they will know what's what. Okay, looking ahead a little farther, again, the Chariot often shows up when there's moves. It's a major arcana. Emperor in energy, so very interesting, showing up with the Eight of Cups. So I think Mr. Z is going to fade from the public scene for a little while. Kind of, he's not going to be front and center like he's been, and I'm hoping this means that there's going to be some changes for the country that he is the president of currently. If they are, they're going to be good changes. They'll be moving forward into a place that's peaceful, and the path will be clear for them, and there'll be some mutually agreeable connections with others when they do. So Mr. Z, in an effort to retain or maybe to garner some support, issued that invitation. And I see the only involvement towards it that Mr. T will have will be truly, if he steps in, it will be to broker peace. It won't be to let himself be persuaded to get involved in that conflict in any way, shape, or form. So nothing can stop what is coming. And what's coming is good stuff. All right, so there we have it. Sunday news, which is an unusual day to get some news, was that invitation from President Zelensky. We'll find out in the coming days how Mr. T chooses to handle that invitation, or if he decides to respond at all. But according to what the cards say, if he does, it's only going to be with an eye towards having that peaceful resolution that he is absolutely sure he can have handled. And I don't think it's going to happen until he's more officially and publicly in a place that is acknowledged worldwide. So, in other words, this is yet another occasion where we have to get somebody off stage before some good things happen. That's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time and your attention and your viewership. I don't take you for granted. And until next time, I wish you love, light, and everything bright.